This is the TeamTracer Archive Report Wizard tutorial. The Archive Report Wizard allows you to look back at information that has been archived from prior events that you have run with the TeamTracer system. So let's go through the Archive Report Wizard now. The Archive Report Wizard is started from two different places. It can actually be started by a button inside the Action Capture dialog, which you can learn about if you look at the tutorial for the TeamTracer Action Capture screen. The other thing that you can start it from is as an independent program, quite separate from the Action Capture screen, using a icon that would have been created on your desktop during your installation for the Archive Reporter. When the program runs, this is the first screen that you see, which is just an introductory screen for the Archive Wizard. The next screen that we come to is the database selection. Because the system is capable of having multiple different databases, you have the opportunity to have multiple different configuration files for the various different databases. And so the system stores those as what are called DBL files. In this case, the DBL file for our database, which we were using in the other tutorials as the sample database, is actually already selected for us and is sample DBL. If you needed to look at another file, then you could go ahead and click on Browse, and that would allow you to find the DBL file that was correct for your particular database that you created your event with at the time. Once you have the DBL file that you're happy with, you can go ahead and say Next. If you happen to have multiple tables in the database that you were working with, they would be listed here. In our particular instance with the sample database, there is only one table, and frequently there may only be one table. And so we want to make certain we just select that, and it actually is already highlighted in our case because it's the only one. So we're going to go ahead and hit Next. In order to format the report correctly when it goes ahead and comes out, the system asks you to make a printer selection. You can make a change to that printer selection down the road if you need to, but right at the moment it just wants to make certain it gets the formatting correct. Generally speaking, a paper printer of some kind, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, or larger if you wish to go larger, makes the most sense. If you have a card printer, we wouldn't recommend that you use the card printer. Not a good choice for outputting a report of this kind. So we're going to select our HP PhotoSmart P1000 and go ahead and say Next. Now, in your table, you could have one or many events that you have archived from the past. In this particular instance, we have just one, which goes back a while, but that's okay because it's an archive, and so it's designed to go back as far as we need it to go. So since this is the only one on our list, we're just going to use this one. But again, if you had multiple events that you had archived, they would be listed here, and they would have their start and end dates, their title, and a description for each one, and you would be able to make the selection for the event that mattered to you. So we can go ahead and say Next. In the report selection, you'll see that there are options that are very similar to the options that you have when you're in the Action Capture screen, and that's quite on purpose. And this allows us to basically display the information in a way that's very similar to what you would have done if you were really in the event at the time. So you'll see you can get a full report, which is exactly what it says, a complete output of all the information as it came in. You can see all those people that signed in. You can see all those people that signed out. You can see all those items that were done as special actions, and you can see what the final status is of each individual that came into the event or in the scene. The other thing that we can do here is that we can do some sorting. So if the natural order of information is not the way that you'd like it to be, you can actually change that. And so if we select from the drop-down list, we could also sort by department or employee name. Those were the additional fields of information that were available to us that came from our database of information about the individual. And you can also change the sort order of that information so that you can actually see it in a reverse order. So that was already checked, so let's leave that checked. So we should see in chronological order the most recent event item in the event, and then going backwards from there. So if we go ahead and say Next, we get a very large screen. So let's bring that back down to size that we can see inside of our video, and we'll move this out just a little bit. Text is a little bit small, but what you'll see here is a representation of the report, and it has all of the columns of information. It has when it occurred, the kind of action it was, the assignment, any details, the department, and the employee name, which would be the information just as it was when the event was actually open and active. And you'll notice that the chronological order is from the most recent item going back to the oldest item. If we had multiple pages here, if we had hundreds of entries for this particular event, you'd be able to scroll that through page by page in terms of the preview. Then you can go ahead and configure, and you can also print. The save and the open buttons would allow you to save and open another report that you might have saved from an earlier time, but generally speaking, that's something that is not something you will need to do because the Event Archive Reporter allows you to be able to go through and recreate reports dynamically when you need to go ahead and do so. However, the one situation that you might have is that you might want to be able to take that data and perhaps manipulate it further beyond what you see here. And that's made capable of doing that by when we hit close, the final screen of our wizard has a save report as HTML. Now, HTML is a web-based format, but it's quite generic, and so it's very capable of being opened in a wide variety of various other programs, including the Microsoft Office suite. You could import it into a Word document, or perhaps even more importantly, you could import it or open it as an Excel document, in which case you would be able to do sorting, you'd be able to move data around, you would be able to present it in quite a different way. And so if you're really interested in doing so, you can do a save report as HTML, and then you'll be able to use that HTML to present that report in any one of a number of different programs. If you need to go back and run a different report, you can always go back. It'll give you the opportunity to select either a different database or a different set of sorting criteria, and then you can do that report and print that or save it as HTML to do manipulation on it as you wish. If you're happy and you're done with looking at your event archive, you can simply go and hit finish, and the Archive Reporter will close. That concludes our tutorial.